Hello, everybody. Welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well. Hope everyone out there is doing absolutely fantastic and that you're all having a wonderful day. Do not forget to follow me on Twitter. Yeah, there's a link in the description below. Don't forget to leave a like. It helps out the algorithm a lot. Don't forget to invest. It's a great easy way to make money, especially for the long term. No one's going to help us but us. And without any further ado, let's jump right into it. Yeah. I don't know if it's just the time of year. I don't know if it's the season. I heard like jingle bells in my head, like the like ting ting, ting like little like the anyway. But I don't have any bells to ring. I don't know why I'm saying this. We're getting a lot of like blast from the pasty kind of news. You'll understand in a little bit. We are getting. This is like almost in full swing at this point, and it's a little weird. We're getting a lot of news about basically what next year is going to be. And it's all lightly dramatic in some sort of way. The name of the game is yield, passive income, making money from doing nothing. Bitcoin is boring. Bitcoin needs to do something, and that seems to be the current mantra, at least within the news that we've been getting over the past few months. It's kind of everywhere. I think about 4 days ago, we had another story of another company announcing a Bitcoin yield product. The world, as we've been told, is expected to like really open their arms next year and completely adopt, support, buy, hold, accumulate, custody Bitcoin. That's like, this is really what we've been told over and over. And it does make a lot of sense with all the purchases and everything else that we've been seeing in some form or fashion. So what we have now is that larger companies through ETFs, through other means, are accumulating large amounts of Bitcoin, investing heavily in Bitcoin. And the name of the game is basically buy up all the assets, hold them, and have it make you free money forever. It sounds like, nope, it shouldn't sound like a joke. I know I say that often. It's because a lot of times in my life, I say stuff and people think that I'm joking. And it's like, no, this is actually happening. Asset management giant, they are called BlackRock, has filed to register a Delaware trust company for its proposed, it's called a Bitcoin Premium Income ETF. The words are all there. Everyone is trying, and there will be a multitude of answers, but I do think in the next couple of years, like 3 or 4 of them will kind of stick out, and that's what people are going to use. Whether it be directly on chain, whether it be staking Bitcoin through something else, I'm expecting, as I said before, here's another one. Once there is a reliable DeFi program somewhere that someone creates, or some crypto, something that's safe, that's also going to be a thing. A lot of the newer proposals. So the summer proposals for earning yield on Bitcoin revolved around staking your Bitcoin on chain. And then that became staking your Bitcoin, but you can still get to custody it, which doesn't really make a huge amount of sense if you're putting it onto a crypto exchange. That then has slowly begun to morph into this idea of DeFi, where people are realizing that if mega companies like BlackRock are going to try and figure out a way to offer a yield or income for just holding their ETF or holding Bitcoin. If you make a DeFi product, something on Ethereum, where you wrap up your Bitcoin, you put your Bitcoin into Ethereum, and then there's some kind of a protocol that's just kind of churning out rewards of a 5, 6, 7%, like you are guaranteed to get that. That, of course, would obviously be the winner. But before that, we have a lot of other things, like I said, that keep popping up as the answer to what they want. BlackRock has filed for a Bitcoin premium income ETF, signaling a push to broaden its Bitcoin offerings. Bloomberg ETF analyst, his name is Eric Balchunas, said BlackRock's proposed product would sell covered call options on Bitcoin futures, collect premiums, and they would use that to generate yield. The regular distributions would, however, trade away potential upside from investing in BlackRock's spot Bitcoin ETF, which mirrors Bitcoin's price movements. It says this is a covered call Bitcoin strategy in order to give Bitcoin some yield. This will be a 33x spot product equals to the 87 billion IBIT. Registering a trust filing in Delaware typically indicates that an ETF issuer will imminently file an S-1 registration statement or a 19B-4 filing with the Securities and Exchange Commission to officially kick off the process. And here's the actual, filing information right here. I wonder how quickly this would actually go through. Do you remember? You must. The rule change from the US SEC a couple of months ago. This is kind of it. They declared that any cryptocurrency coin that already has a derivatives product or a futures product would essentially be able to get an ETF like that. There would be no long 6 to 9 month waiting period anymore. It would simply happen. So I wonder how quickly this one would actually end up getting launched. U.S. regulators, particularly the SEC, have signaled openness, to a wider range of crypto investment products as part of Trump's promise to make America the crypto capital of the world. The new BlackRock product would complement its iShares IBIT, which has clocked over 60 billion US dollars in Bitcoin inflows that have been converted into Bitcoin, launching in January 2024. Yeah, we're going to be getting a lot more of these in the coming months. I already told you this is big. Everyone, for years, this was not a discussion. This wasn't a thing. It is only since around April. We had 2 people, I believe they were popular Bitcoin devs, who announced, hey, we're thinking of putting this on chain. We're thinking of putting this on a layer 2 solution so that Bitcoin can generate yield. And then since then, we've kind of just been tumbling forward with everyone announcing that they're figuring out these new magical out of nowhere ways, actually out of nowhere, for Bitcoin to generate some kind of a yield, for Bitcoin to generate passive income, for these products to become more nice or alluring for investors. And I'll say it, last thought. These are really all over the place. They're kind of completely up and down. I think we're going to see a large amount of these entering the market. We're going to see a huge amount of people in the Bitcoin space launching these things. I told you it'll all take off when Coinbase or Binance, because they're working on it. When Coinbase or Binance announces something, it'll take off. When we have actual, self-custody wallets where you can custody and use and hold your own Ether, your own Cardano, and you can hit the button and click stake it, and you start making passive income. when that goes to a self-custody wallet or any crypto wallet, and you can it's game over. Any other product will fade away into existence, disappear somewhere into memory. But yeah, this is crypto 3.0. We never had any discussions about this before. Even the idea for Ether, like for staking Ethereum, wasn't a thing in the beginning. It's because other chains began to create a yield, a return on investment for doing nothing, that they were like, all right, let's do that to our chain as well. So when you enter the crypto market in the future, you're going to see a lot of people be like, yeah, I bought this coin because it has a 4 point so-and-so return. And you'll be like, oh my gosh, like I have so much of that coin, I forgot all about it. Yeah. Don't forget to invest, guys. Don't forget to save, put your money away, look towards the future. A lot of people do not. I don't know if they don't want to, but don't be them. Make sure that you are focusing on your money, on your future, on your investments, on your prosperity. Once again, I'll throw this in. It's nice to help people out. It's nice to let people know about the market and get them into the space. But we've been here for too long to keep trying to get people to understand this market. Prices dip by 4%. They leave. No, focus on what you need to do. It's nice to help other people to get them into the market. If they don't want to hear it, well, good luck to them. You did what you could. That's the BlackRock is trying to launch another Bitcoin ETF. This time, that gives you passive income. We're going to keep seeing more of these. And yeah, let's move on. In another blast from the pasty kind of thing, these are also nearly every day in the news. I'm not sure if it's some kind of a nostalgia kind of thing or if people just are really interested in I don't know, 2017. I'm not really getting it. This one even feels off, which I think is kind of weird. A number of years ago, there was always a huge discussion about where crypto is in history. I know that sounds a bit weird or abstract. One of the ideas was when the internet first launched, like officially around like 1992 for the public, there was always like a private internal internet. Around 1992, no one was really using it. By the time we got to 94, 95, it became kind of a joke. Remember that news guy on TV? Martha, what's an email? And she goes, I don't know. He goes, do we need this? We don't need this. And by the time we got to I remember 98 or something, that's when, internet really began to be used anywhere. By the time we got to 2000, everyone was on the web. Everyone was using AOL. Everyone was using MSN. It took a while, but the progression was definitely there. So 2017, 18, 19 in crypto, I don't know why this was always popular news. We had a lot of stuff about where's crypto today? And people kind of would put us on a chart to talk about how far we've come or how popular we are. And that kind of thing. The general consensus was and has been that we were roughly around 1997, 1998. That was years ago. We're there. A lot of people know about us. You might not have a PC, like a literal personal computer, not like a Windows. You might not have one at home, but you know what the internet is. It's been referenced on TV shows and on movies, and everyone has a flip phone. The big old bricky Nokias. Everyone knows what these things are. Okay, so this is a little bit different. US-based investment bank, they're called Jefferies. In its report prepared for large institutional investors, has likened the development stage of the cryptocurrency market. They say that we're currently still in 1996. Doesn't really make a lot of sense because I don't think in 96, and I say it this way, I don't think we had 100 million people on the internet in 1996. 100 million, for those of you who do not know, is the number that has been quoted as around the world the amount of people who own crypto or are in the crypto market in some form or fashion. I don't think in 1996, 4 years after the internet hit the mainstream, that we had ETFs that were launching that were accumulating $30 billion over the course of a 11-month period. The timing seems a little off, especially when you looked at the actual usage of crypto. We have banks accumulating. No, 96 doesn't make any sense. We have central banks accumulating Bitcoin. We have governments accumulating Bitcoin. It just doesn't. There wasn't anything in 96 that was similar to, okay. The bank argued that the sector still has ample room for growth. They might want to do this survey over again because they're a little bit behind. Analysts say an excessive focus on Bitcoin prices could overlook the disruptive potential of blockchain technology across various sectors. Jeffries noted that some institutions have already begun investing in the space through exchange-traded funds and digital asset treasuries. I feel like, was this article made 9 years ago? It's a little weird. It's a little. Companies haven't. No. This is all wrong. This is actually quite odd. I've shown you before in videos. We've seen that since 2017, Harvard, Yale, and Brown have been buying huge amounts of Bitcoin. All the billionaires in this space, you know why they love crypto? Why they love Bitcoin? Because they were buying it since 2014. That is literally 4 years after Bitcoin came out, which would be 1996. I'm not saying that we're in 2015 crypto wise or internet wise, but a little weird. Anyway, this was popular news. Years ago, there was kind of I don't want to use the word desire, but a relative curiosity. Where are we? How many people are in this space? Who's using crypto? This is no longer, dare I say, this is no longer a speculative market. We know that crypto is here for the long haul. We're seeing it everywhere all the time. These companies buying up. I'm going to buy $1.4 billion worth of Bitcoin. That's not a normal thing. That's not, there was no one in 96 who was I'm going to throw $30 billion into the internet. Yeah, that sounds good. No one knew what was going on. Anywho, this was popular news. I assume it's from Jeffries, and I'm going to assume that Jeffries is into crypto in some sort of way, or they've bought crypto. This is probably why. If they said nice things about crypto before, I would assume that this is the reason why they're back in the news, but none of that makes any sense. We're definitely far beyond 96. I'd even give us a good 2001. I'd give us a good 2001 as to where we actually are. I think realistically, we probably do have a good another 15 to 20 years, 20 years before we see the level of worldwide adoption of crypto, similar to how we see the internet now. Everyone knows what the internet is. Everyone is accessing. I've seen. You ever got onto a train or a plane or a bus and you see 80-year-old people taking out their tablets, watching movies, or scrolling on their phone? It's everywhere. And I think we have about 15 to 20 years before crypto is in that same kind of thing. I'd give us a good 2001. 96 doesn't make any sense. You need to redo that survey again. Wow, good job, Jeffries. Oh my gosh, we're in 1996. Wow, I can't believe it because it sounds stupid. Well, I think that's going to do it for this video. I do hope that you've all enjoyed. I do hope you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and supporting, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.